Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. I'm Huge Pop Cat Daddy here. I got that name from a promoter, an indie promoter out here, so I'm going to go with it. Tonight I am honored to have Johnny Cash, PWG, and Sin, the Syndicate. Here on, we're going to be doing a Saturday show. The Saturday show is usually going to be around about SmackDown and other wrestling stuff, but tonight we are launching my buddy Sin's YouTube channel, and we're going to be talking about the Elimination Chamber. So go ahead, Sin.
Yeah, you can check me out on YouTube, Wicked Wrestling Alliance. So that's what you want to check out, Wicked Wrestling Alliance on YouTube. Anybody that's streaming it right now and watching on there, hey, awesome to see you here. And then also you can check me out on Wicked Wrestling Alliance. Excuse me, my voice don't want to work today. On Wicked Wrestling Alliance on Facebook as well.
Awesome. PG, Johnny Cash, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
Good deal. Good to see you guys. Good to have. I mean, it's so exciting because this whole journey started with me just reaching out to Sin and Johnny Cash months ago and inviting them on the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast, and here we are doing a Saturday show. So this is cool. I thank you. I thank you both of you guys for trusting in me and enjoying time. And I love you guys. You guys are great. So.
Well, thanks for having us, man. I really enjoy being on here, and we're not just helping you out; you're helping us out too, as well, by getting eyes on us, while at the same time getting eyes on your product as well.
Awesome,
with this great podcast. So,
yeah,
I appreciate you having us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And anybody that's on Sin's web or YouTube, if you have a chance to jump over to any of the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast links, YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, please do so. And I thank you guys. So we're just going to dive right into Elimination Chamber. I'm going to first ask the question, and then we can go into the matches. So each individual, what did you guys think? If you had to say, as a whole pay-per-view, what would you say, without going into any details, what kind of grade would you guys give it?
It's a thumbs up for me if you're looking for a letter grade. I'm going to say about a B+.
Okay. Johnny?
I would give it A-.
A-. Damn. Rough. I would say that. I mean, I was telling Johnny earlier, it wasn't my favorite. And I was getting concerned during that last match if it was going to really come through and tell the story.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will give it probably a B-. I've seen better, but it wasn't horrible. So let's dive right into that women's elimination chamber. So you guys go ahead and I'll jump in. So what do you guys think?
I was impressed. The use of the pods, very innovative by Carmella and Raquel driving Nikki cross through one. The initial pin. That was pretty entertaining.
Yeah. Didn't Nikki Cross take a jump off of one of the pods?
Yeah, she jumped off a pod too. Yeah, which was like crazy because you don't see women doing that too often anymore.
No, that lady's a psycho, man. I mean, she would be somebody cool to meet. I wonder if she's like that in real life. But she is bizarre, to say the least. What about you, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I felt like it was their chance for everyone in that match to kind of showcase what they can actually do. You know, it was a step. It was another, in my opinion, another step for them to showcase that women do matter in professional wrestling just as much as the men do.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I got to say, that's the first time. Like I've watched WWE on and off for the last maybe 5 years, due to the fact, like I told you before, like, so when pay-per-views would come on and they would only do the promos leading up to that match, you know, from like a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, only for the main event or for the championship matches. And it felt like the other matches didn't even matter. They were just there because they were filler.
Right.
But this time it just felt like I was watching a pay-per-view back from the Attitude Era, or the early to mid 2000s, you know, where where they would lead up to the match to where, what happened, why this person is going after this person, what they're going after, and they have something to prove.
Right.
And I got to say, Carmella, I've never seen this side of her before. And she kind of impressed me. I'll be honest on that. And I'm glad Nikki Cross is back and she's not Nikki ASH or anything like that. She's back to her old psycho self.
Yeah, the Nikki ASH, I was like, and that superhero crap, and I'm like, come on, and that's when I was like, this is garbage because we don't want to see that. I didn't want to see that. You guys might have liked it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the superhero.
My understanding, it was her idea to do that. She
Really?
wanted to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was her idea, but I honestly think maybe it would have worked a lot better if they would have started her out like, not doing so good, and then at some point having Hurricane Helms come in and be like, hey, you look like you're down. Let me help lift you up. To have something like that, kind of like what Hurricane Helms did for
Rosie.
Molly Holly.
Oh, Molly Holly. Also Rosie.
Yeah.
Rosie was the sidekick.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they need your glasses, those those neon green glasses. Maybe if you had that to Nikki Cross's outfit, that'd be great.
Right.
I'm just messing with you, man.
It's the shades, man. It's the shades.
I love the glasses. But I was happy to see Asuka win.
Me too.
I'm an Asuka fan. I popped really hard when she showed up at the Rumble. I love her new getup. I love her new look. And to me, to go in against Bianca and at WrestleMania, I thought she was the most logical person to do it.
Yeah.
Now don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong at all. I think Raquel could have beat her, could have gave Bianca a match. Any of those girls in that match could have gave Bianca a match at WrestleMania. But in my opinion, the right thing to do was to give it to Asuka because I really, really, really hope they continue the push.
Oh yeah, man, and I gotta say, I really like this new Asuka that's coming out. I feel like this is the Asuka that was before WWE, and I think it was, and they're giving her a chance to kind of showcase, the character that she was before WWE, and I think that kind of ties into, what being a professional wrestler is all about. Is yes, there's creative, but at the same time, I mean, shouldn't it also be on our part to be like, hey, I have an idea for this character that I wanna portray. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of, talk about what your character is, what he does, what he looks like,
right?
And kind of like show them what you can do.
Absolutely, 100%. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sen, what about you, man? Are you happy with the winner?
Yes, because the Royal Rumble, when she came out the Royal Rumble with a whole new look, and the crowd was just going nuts for her, and she was in the final three. Going into this match, I thought, wow, if she doesn't win it, the crowd will be disappointed. That was my opinion going in. I think I'm all us diehard fans. I think really wanted to see Asuka win this and be at WrestleMania.
Right. So we're on women's the women's stuff, and I know we'll do a WrestleMania prediction show. My wife is distracting me. Sorry, guys. So anyways, all right, so back to my train of thought. Bianca Belair. Do you think Asuka's a good challenge for Bianca Belair? And I'm just gonna throw this out there. I don't know what your opinion, but I'm over Belair being champion.
Me too.
So I think this is go ahead.
I've never been a big. Her in-ring works great. I'm just not a big fan of her gimmick. I get it. A lot of people like it. It's just too poppy cheery for me. It's just it's just too poppy, happy, cheery, go lucky for me.
Yeah. What about you there, Johnny?
I've got to go with Sin on this. So the gimmick thing that she's got going on, the EST, I don't know about you guys. I don't know about anybody else watching this, but to me, it just the EST and the best, the greatest, whatever. I mean, that sounds to me like it should be used as a heel spot, or
Yeah.
as a something that a heel would use. You know what I'm saying?
True. And maybe she would. I mean, so I guess I'm gonna go on here along with you, Johnny. Maybe she would be better as a heel.
I think especially whipping people with their hair as a heel is just
Or choking them.
Yeah, choking them, using it as a weapon
Yeah.
rather than having it used as a weapon against her.
Right. Yeah.
I just really think that would be cool. I'd
So
like to see it.
I think that set the Elimination Chamber set up a really solid story. Now, if they can build on that for the next 6 weeks, that'd be excellent. You know, as we're within 6 weeks of the WrestleMania, and that'd be a great day one, night one of WrestleMania for that big to be the main event or whatever.
When you bring that up too, you bring up maybe Bianca being heel or whatever. That does bring up the point we're in an interesting place at WrestleMania with that match. We do have two popular, superstars facing each other. Neither one's a specific heel or bad guy or anything. Which those always make for interesting matches to me when you see, fair competition, good person versus good person,
right?
And will one turn in the match or beforehand?
Right.
Is that too loud?
No, can you guys hear? No, I don't think so.
It's fine.
But you're right. I would hope that they would do that like 2 weeks before the WrestleMania. One of them turn heel.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. What about you, Johnny?
Yeah, I agree. You said 2 weeks before WrestleMania?
I think in 2 to 3 weeks they need to lay the groundwork.
Yeah, I can see that.
As a fan, I want to see. See, I'm a storyline guy. I love how WWE builds storylines. AEW, they're like short storylines, and it's over. Except for their best of 7 series, which we won't talk about that because
I feel like the storylines at WWE have gotten much better with Paul Levesque back there. So
yeah, I think that'd be great. We have a guy, Seth, the Architect. A title split is possible. Jay leaving with Solo replacing Jay for the tag champs while building Jay versus Roman at SummerSlam. Cody and Sammy both have their moments. All fans are happy. End of story. I see what you're saying, Seth, but I'm not sure you're going to be right with Jay leaving. Not after tonight. It was a swerve a little bit for me. We'll get to that later on. So,
can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
All right. So, my opinion on splitting up the titles again, and so I feel like if you do that, then you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose that prize aspect of the whole, like WWE Universal Undisputed Champion. You're gonna break that name down back to what it was as the Universal title and then the WWE World Heavyweight title.
Which
and it will mean less pretty much.
Yeah,
that's my opinion though.
Yeah, and I get that, and I'm like tossing up whether it's because I do believe if you're gonna have the titles combined, then the champion needs to be on Raw and he needs to show up on SmackDown as well.
Yeah,
not just SmackDown, not just Raw.
Right, right. I agree with that.
Bring the champion to both shows.
So the question is, if say Cody Rhodes wins at WrestleMania, do you still keep 2 titles or do you just unify them?
I think what's going to happen, and I don't know. I felt like this was a little bit of a tease, but maybe he might bring back the Winged Eagle.
That'd be
he did post that picture.
Yeah,
and he did bring back the original IC belt too. Back when, I think it was
was he dashing Cody Rhodes at that time?
Yes, that was it. I was trying to remember, dashing Cody Rhodes, or was it when he was with, or just broke up with Legacy?
I don't remember.
Something like that.
So you guys are saying that instead of having them undisputed, both titles, just take it and be one title. Done.
Make it the wing belt. I agree with him.
Bring the wing belt back and be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. But if you do that, that champion needs to be on both shows.
Yeah, of course.
I
I
mean,
mean, the only time what started the separation, I believe, is when Brock Lesnar won both titles, didn't he? And then he wanted to go exclusive SmackDown.
yeah, something like that.
And then that's when they started having 2 titles.
Right. So, good question, Seth. Good question. So we moved from that Oscar winning the women's elimination chamber to part 3 of Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. And I'll let you guys go. I got popcorn during that match.
Okay.
I'll let you guys talk about that one. I have things about that match, but go ahead.
It was a little better than I expected. I don't know what I expected from that match because both guys can work on a high level. I think this is maybe together the best match they had. I can say that about it. Telling the story, doing a good job. Lashley going for the hurt lock multiple times to hook it. Just the whole thing. For them, it was a good story. I was worried on that first belly-to-belly suplex. You see the way Lashley landed?
Yeah.
I swear his head cleared the mat by only a few inches on the rotation. I thought he was going to get spiked.
See, from a wrestler, yeah, I mean, I'm at a disadvantage. You guys got, years in the mat and the ring and stuff, and you guys catch that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If you were to ever go to a training school for even a month, you'll start watching and seeing wrestling in a whole different perspective.
Right.
Without a doubt.
Well, I've been to some indie wrestling, and you guys don't hold nothing back.
No. No matter the size of the crowd, we do everything.
I mean, it's crazy, and I get it. It's TV. I get it. They're whatever you want to call them. But when you're going to do stunts and stuff like that, you got to be, I don't know, more realistic. But the only thing I can say about that Brock Lesnar and Lashley match was I watched Friday Night SmackDown. I was kind of disappointed because this was yesterday. I watched this, and they gave us a big tease with Bray Wyatt. Because Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy were in the ring. They did what they did. Bray got on the mic and said and called out Bobby and called out Brock and said, hey, we'll be there for whoever wins that. And I feel like WWE either had to cut short or something like that. But I was hoping to get an interaction with one of the biggest, in my opinion, one of the biggest things that WWE has going with the revergence of Bray Wyatt and him not to be at that pay-per-view to somehow move along that storyline with Lashley or Lesnar.
I agree with you in the fact I feel it was probably cut for time because it really seems like it should have been there. It's a massive oversight if they just never planned anything.
Exactly. What about you, Johnny? Did you notice that or?
Yeah, I noticed that too, and I agree with Sin. Maybe the time was just cut for the match, and I mean, if that's the case, then they could also be making something even better happen for SmackDown.
They better come back with something because
I think they will.
Because they left me as a fan discouraged. I'm like, because I was excited for this match. I was excited for the end. I was like, okay, we got our winner, and now where's Bray Wyatt? And they started showing a video package for the Finn Balor Edge match.
Well, I mean, what's weird about this too is, do you guys feel like there's going to be a 4th match at WrestleMania because of the way the match ended? Because that's the feeling I got.
It wouldn't surprise me, but I think it's going to be a somehow twisted match. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dreaming. Maybe because I'm not a good booker. I'd almost, if Bray and Uncle Howdy start on them on Friday.
Yeah.
You have enough time for Brock and Bobby to join teams and go against Howdy and Bray.
I guess so, yeah.
Or there's I read somewhere where another person might be joining the Hurt business in the upcoming weeks. I can't remember who it was. I somebody that is training really hard, and they said that he might be there. But they need to do something, and they might have a fourth match.
Yeah, they might. I mean, the way it ended on DQ is not the way you want to end a rivalry like that.
No.
So, I mean, maybe we'll see it. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll see it on SmackDown or Raw or something. You know what I mean? Maybe it'll just pop up as a main event on one of those. That would be nice. But yeah, I think you do have to move forward with the Bray Wyatt angle and get him at WrestleMania, working somehow with one or both of them.
Yeah, they're dumb if they don't bring him at WrestleMania. So, what about you, Johnny? What about you, Johnny?
Yeah, I really think that I think it's a pretty decent idea to have Bobby and Brock kind of team against Bray and Uncle Howdy. Like how you could possibly do that is you could have Lashley come out, say that he won, that he kicked his ass, that he's the more dominant one, and then here comes Brock Lesnar. Then they come face to face. They start going at it, staring at each other, or doing whatever they do, and then the lights go out, and then a video package plays for Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy saying that, well, guess what? We're coming for both of you. Lights go back on. They're in the ring. Do something like that, or kind of tease it. You know what I mean? Build it up.
Right.
So do you think we get a reveal of Uncle Howdy? Do you think we'll get to find out who he is at WrestleMania?
Probably at WrestleMania, I would say.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think they're doing it the smart way and not revealing who Uncle Howdy is until the biggest show of the year. Now,
I agree.
Now, here's something funny too. I'm going to bring this to AEW real quick. So when MJF wore that mask and he came out and he had that chip, he should not have taken it off at the end of that night. He should have waited until he was going to cash in, in my opinion, because that would have built the suspense. That would have kept people tuned in and wanting to see what's going to happen, the next week or the following week. Is he going to reveal himself?
And that's what I'm saying about storylines in WWE compared to storylines in AEW. That could have been drug out for weeks.
Yeah.
And that would have been huge.
Well, look at the bloodline angle with Sami Zayn. That's what, 10 months in the making tonight.
That is probably the best storyline in a long time.
Yeah.
People, if that's what people talk about. I mean, so but yeah, the one thing I do have to say about Uncle Howdy, I hope that by the time he gets into ring action and at WrestleMania, hopefully it's there, he learns how to at least hit a move when he dove off that top of the thing onto that. I can't remember. It was I think it was Royal Rumble where he missed the guy by about 4 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I was like, that. I mean, I get it.
The mask has to be totally blinding in his defense.
Yes.
It was kind of funny because when I seen it happen, like he falls through and he's like, oh shit, he's probably laying there saying, oh man, he wasn't there at the spot. And then all of a sudden you see him start rolling over.
It was horrible. It was bad. I was like, no way.
It's like, oh man, he's over there. Let me try and roll over.
Yeah.
Make it look like he hit me.
I do want to point out tonight was a horrible night for the announce table and an even worse night to be a referee. Because refs were just getting smacked around. The first match, a ref got knocked around too. Wasn't it? The second match, right off the bat.
Yep. To be a ref in that at the Elimination Chamber, you're like, nope, not this time.
Not in Canada. Nope, not ref in Canada.
No. So we got this men's elimination chamber. No, the match between Finn and Rhea and Edge and Beth Phoenix. And I'll just say this to start it. Rhea didn't have to win that. She doesn't need that. She didn't need that. She didn't need to win that match. She's already over. Like, she's going to take Charlotte Flair out. She's going to be our next women's champion.
I am surprised, though, the way they laid her out of the match with the glam slam on the outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because where does that leave Beth Phoenix then? I mean, if Rhea does go on and win the title, does Beth get a shot? You know what I mean? Do they actually utilize her, or does she just disappear now again?
Right.
That's true.
That was my only problem with how Rhea got taken out. But I was surprised. I thought they would have Rhea pin Beth. I was surprised at the ending who won. So that was nice. It's nice to be surprised.
Yeah.
Well, I think they had to do it, and to be honest with you, Sin and Johnny, because you can't go into Canada and not have somebody from Canada win one of those matches.
Yeah, there was 3.
Yeah, 3 matches, and you knew dang well. I mean, at least if you didn't know, if you didn't believe that Sammy was going to get his ass beat, you should have. And they wouldn't have done that. They wouldn't have gave it to him. There's just maybe they would have. I don't know. But to have somebody win from Canada in Montreal, you had to almost do that.
I'll tell you what, he had every fan in that arena believing he was going to win that night, though, didn't he?
That's true. That's true. But
even the weeks leading up to tonight, he had people believing in him.
Yeah,
it was interesting. I mean, I maybe I was believing we could have seen Sammy versus Cody at WrestleMania in some weird kind of way.
Jay Silver, what's going on, my guy? Thanks for jumping on. Well, that match was good. I mean, it gave us Edge, it gave us Beth, it gave us Finn. Those are 3 Hall of Famers. Rhea Ripley, Hall of Famer. They'll be Hall of Famers one of these days.
I agree.
That was a great match. I mean,
yeah,
Edge can still go.
Yeah.
And
at 49, I believe, and he's still going.
He still goes. That spear, I wouldn't take that spear. I wouldn't want that. He's got one of the best. I mean, but I just wish I'm not a Dom fan. I do like, since he's been in prison or whatever you want to call it. I like that. I like their,
I think he was trying a little too hard tonight. I don't know if anybody else got that vibe. With how often he was trying to interfere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's kind of that spaz guy that you keep around in your group to do that. You know what I mean? That's what he's become. And I'm not gonna lie, I've had syndicate members in the past that are the spaz guy. It happens. You know what I mean? But the crowd hates that guy. They had to turn him heel, he wasn't really a great baby face, in my opinion. He's a much better heel.
I agree.
So, I mean, people hate him. What more can you expect out of him? I mean, that's your goal.
He was god awful as a face.
He was so bad.
That was bad. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like,
he was so bad as a face is what helped make him a heel.
He was a face forever.
It seems like that was a year and a half, 2 years.
Must have been. I'm like, dude, turn on your dad already, dude. Just do something, man. And so it was fun. But yeah, I think he did try too hard. There was a lot of spots that match had a lot of spots that I would say missed. As far as it seemed off. I guess some of the stuff seemed off
a little bit.
Yeah. So, but I was happy with the winners. I like the Judgment Day. I think they're cool.
I love the double power bomb spot in that move.
That was great. And then the double down right after that.
Yeah, and then they clothesline each other.
Yeah,
beautiful.
That was with didn't Beth had Rhea up there, right?
No, Beth had Finn.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And Rhea had Edge.
That's right.
Which just goes to show the strength of both women. And they didn't even powerbomb them out of the corner. They both took like 3 steps out.
Yeah. And
then powerbombed them.
Tell you what, them women, man, they're not to mess with. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight either one.
You guys have, so seriously, in your guys' promotions, I know we're getting off. We're not, this is an Elimination Chamber question, but in both of your promotions, do you guys have solid women's divisions where there's big powerhouse women in your guys' promotions that you guys deal with?
In Powerhouse and PWX, we have a great lineup. Blair Onyx, who's been in AEW, works for us. Heather Reckless, we have Black and Brave graduates who are working with us now. For those who don't know, Black and Brave people are trained by Seth Rollins. So, very talented women's roster.
Okay. What about you, Johnny?
Oh yeah, I've been around the Iowa scene and the Wisconsin scene, and now the Illinois scene, and I've seen there's a woman wrestler by the name of Stacy Shadows who wrestles for BCW in Milwaukee. That's Frankie DeFalco's promotion. She's the world champion, and she's been the world champion of that promotion, I think, for over a year. I might be mistaken; it could be longer, but I know it's been over a year. And she's very, very dominant. She's awesome, and just her in-ring work is awesome.
Awesome.
Everything that she does, like I've seen her do, it's like, man, I don't think I want to be in a match with her.
Nice.
I've worked with a woman years back and helped train Natasha Crane, and she goes by the name Anna Zahn now, and has been winning titles, big time titles around. And I think we'll probably see her in PWX here, hopefully in a few months.
Well, my one of my things I want to do as the host of Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast is I'd love the opportunity to interview and get a female side of the side of view, point of view on the business as well. So if you guys can shoot me some names, I can do some reaching out and try to make that happen.
Yeah, I could do that.
Definitely.
Awesome, man. So the next match was the men's Elimination Chamber match, and
this is awesome match.
This is awesome match. I'll let you guys take. I'll fill in, but I'm not happy with the outcome. But you guys can go ahead. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was all right. All the wrestlers did great, in ring. Especially, I'm just gonna jump right to the spot where I think it was Seth Rollins and Johnny Gargano were on top of one of the pillars inside of the Elimination Chamber, and it looked like he was gonna power bomb Gargano right onto the people below him, and then he just turns it into a Hurricane Rana, and they both fall. That was an oh shit, because I thought he was going to land on his head for a moment, because when he did that backflip or whatever to get that Hurricane Rana over, I didn't even see him covering his head or anything.
Well, what was scary about it I thought is when he picked him up for the power bomb and he started walking to the edge of the pod. If you look, his toes are hanging over the edge of the pod.
Oh wow!
So he can't see where he's throwing him. So my initial thought was, how is Seth Rollins going to land without killing himself? And then when it became a Hurricane Rana, I'm like, doubly, he can't see where he's flipping. He has no sight to where he's supposed to land.
Right.
So he's just, at the mercy of not killing himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's a disclaimer they put on that show that, hey, do not try this shit at home.
Yeah, right.
I tried something like that at home, tried to put my brother to give a power bomb when I was I grew up. I think I shared the story with Sin. We were watching Saturday Night's Main Event, and of course that was with Sid Vicious, and he had the slogan, "What's that I smell? I smell a power bomb." So my brother at that point, he's 10 years younger than me, so he was maybe 8, and he stuck into my room because I was watching Saturday Night's Main Event, and I scooped him up into the power bomb and I threw him onto the bed, but his feet kicked up and hit the lampshade of the ceiling lamp and knocked it, came crashing to the ground. This is at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. Pissed my mom and dad off. They came up the stairs. What are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, nothing.
Well, you're not a son of or a daughter of sin unless you've been power bombed on the bed. That's the rule. So,
all right.
We've all been choke slam, power bombed, snake bitten.
Yeah, figure forward.
Yeah.
Jay Silver says Priest was catching.
Priest did a pretty damn good job out there tonight.
Yes,
taking care of everybody and taking care of himself and making everything look good.
Right. That's the thing. That's the thing with Priest. He doesn't need to win. He's
No.
I don't think he does. I mean, he's a badass, and he's going to stay a badass, and that's about it.
They kind of didn't do much for the Judgment Day with the pay-per-view, though. I mean, as far as making him look dominant,
right? And that's a shame because that is a dominant faction. I love that fact. I hate the faction, but I love the faction. But you're right, Sin. They didn't do nothing to build that up.
No.
So, I did. Montez, was it Montez Ford?
Yeah.
Did you see the holy shit moment? The dude's climbing the top of the cage, hanging there like a monkey, and then he just lets go and hits everybody. Like,
and it was it just me, or was that cage taller than previous elimination chambers?
It was a new cage. It was a new cage. It looked higher, yes.
Yeah, so I mean that fall was even further than when you've seen it done in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've noticed too. Like when the wrestlers were walking down and walking up into the chamber, I noticed it was a little bit wider too, by the more by the barricades and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it was a big chamber this year.
I turned away because I had to deal with some kids, and then next thing I knew, Montez Ford was really hurt. What happened to was there a miss that he was it?
Are we breaking kayfabe?
You can.
What do you think, Johnny? Should I break kayfabe on this? If you notice, he was conveniently hurt, and they didn't put a neck brace on him. They just elevated his head, which they would never do if they thought he had a neck injury or a serious injury.
Okay.
But the cage stayed open long enough for somebody to get in.
Yeah, that pissed me off. So
I'll get
to
I don't think Ford's hurt. I
Okay.
think that was supposed to be there.
It was a work.
I think it was a work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm a mark, so you can laugh at me all
I know. I mean, he could have been hurt, but I really feel like it was work just because of the way it turned out.
That's what I felt too. Like when I saw that happen, and then they showed the replay, and it's like, no, I don't buy it.
How about like the I'm trying to think of the big guy's name now. The big guy in the match.
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed. How about him taking a poison Rana?
Yeah.
Did anybody else catch that?
That was
poison Rana.
I'll be honest, I didn't catch that.
That's crazy for a man that size to take a poison Rana.
Yeah. Hell, that hurt too.
That's talking about making a guy who didn't need to win look like $1 million, even though he's eliminated first.
Yeah.
Like everybody, 3 sets of super kicks,
right?
Multiple finishers hit to beat Reed.
And that's what Johnny and I talked about it before you got on here, and I'll elaborate more on with the last match. You guys are wrestlers. I have a problem with taking 55 super kicks, 75 punches to the face, and you still kick out.
There was a lot of that happening in the main event, wasn't there?
Absolutely.
I feel like we should talk about that in the main event.
All right, we'll get back to that. But those super kicks Bronson Reed took, that's like, okay, dude.
Well, there was one guy, then 2 guys, then 3 guys.
Yeah, so. But if WWE misses that mark for this guy, then they need to be slapped because they could have a big thing with him.
If they turn him into another Funkasaurus, I'll cry. Because
we do not need a gimmick.
The last guy like him.
He does not need to be a gimmick. He needs to be a hard-nosed person that can destroy people.
He's got to be a big badass.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. What else? Oh, yeah. Okay, I was pulling for Seth Rollins. I'm not a theory guy. I'm more of a theory guy now because he dropped that stupid camera gimmick, and
thank goodness
he's not under Vince McMahon's wing anymore. And
he actually has a beard. Looks like he's more than 19.
Right, looks like a hard ass. Looks like he wants.
His build's really gotten nice too.
Yes,
he's a bigger dude now.
He's doing everything that I wish he would have done before I hated him. So now it's theory. I was pulling for Seth Rollins, but they did something that I was like, yup. All they did was add another match to WrestleMania. And then when Logan Paul came over in, I'm like, here we go. Of course,
Yep.
we had to expect it. You know, because WWE's not stupid enough to leave Seth Rollins out of WrestleMania.
Yeah, is Seth Rollins becoming the gimmick match at WrestleMania now? I mean, between Cesaro, Cody Rhodes, you know what I mean?
It's kind of what it seems like, because last year's WrestleMania too, like, wasn't he fighting Kevin Owens to try to take his place in the wrestling Steve Austin?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that again. And then he had the surprise opponent, which was Cody. So,
Right.
like I said, you know, they've done it. This will be the third year in a row, I think. He's kind of had a gimmicky match at WrestleMania. So,
Well, I'd rather see him in a gimmicky match than The Miz.
oh, of course. Yeah.
I mean, I'm so sick of The Miz. I'm thankful he wasn't at the Elimination Chamber. He was shooting baskets at the All-Star game last night. So
Was he?
He made a half-court shot to win the game for the celebrities.
Well,
but I'm sure we'll hear about that on Monday Night Raw. I'm sure.
yeah, I'm sure they'll have footage of that.
Probably so. And I wrote this down. Someone said this. Seth Rollins, I guess Friday night, Seth Rollins said that this is about Logan Paul. Stay in your lane. Stop leeching off the business. And all his goal is to become famous. And I can't agree more. Now, don't get me wrong, Logan Paul can go.
Yeah.
Logan Paul's a hell of an athlete. I'm not going to take anything away from him but being a hell of an athlete. But you're feeding off the business of WWE.
Yeah, but WWE's feeding off him too.
That's true.
The crowd hates him so much. Let me ask you this question. You brought up The Miz earlier. Would you rather The Miz been there instead of Logan Paul, or do you want to see Logan Paul versus
I'd rather see Logan Paul versus Seth.
So. Okay. There we go.
And the more hated a person is when they come into the business, like Logan Paul, the more money the business and Logan Paul are going to make.
Right. Yes, and especially doing stuff like he did at Royal Rumble with that double clothesline with Ricochet.
That was badass.
That was insane.
Oh yeah.
That's one of those things you're like, you've got to be thinking about, oh crap. Ricochet and Logan Paul must have been going, okay, I hope we hit each other, and it's going to hurt like hell when we hit that mat.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised Ricochet could jump to the center of a 20-foot ring on a springboard, but I was surprised Logan Paul could, so.
Because let's be real, you guys wrestle, that mat is padded or whatever, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, I've wrestled in WWE rings before. They don't feel good. They're hard rings. They're very hard rings.
There you go. I mean, I'm just saying. Well, that was pretty cool,
Yeah, I've wrestled in hard rings too, and I'll tell you what, the first time that I did, there was a spot where a guy was going to pick me up for a backdrop, and I countered it, pushed him into the ropes. I held onto the ropes. He went backwards. I was going to go for a super kick. He caught my super kick, spun me around, picked me up, and dropped me. And I was supposed to kick out. I kicked out, but when every fucking time he went down for the one, I tried and I couldn't do it. Two, I tried and I was like, ah. And when I did, the ref and my opponent heard my back crack really loud. They thought that I was injured or broke something, and they're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine."
I got knocked out in a 2 out of 3 falls TLC match. I took a leg drop that turned into an ass drop from top of a ladder to my head.
Oh shoot!
And it knocked me unconscious, and I got counted down for the 3 that fall. And the ref was going to call the match, and I heard him trying to talk to me as I came back out of it. And I told him, no, it's good to go. And he's like, no, we should really. I'm like, no, I'm good to go. So, I mean, I think wrestlers just have that innate, if I think I can do it, I'm going to do it kind of attitude.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys do it, but that's why I'm on this side of the mic and not in the ring with you guys. So. So then we had that last match, the match that everybody was waiting for all night long. So before that match, let's talk about Friday night. Friday night. Did anybody watch SmackDown Friday night?
I didn't get to catch all of it. Only parts.
Sami Zayn came into the ring and they were singing this song, blah 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 blah. He said something in Canada in whatever
French.
in French. There you go. See, I'm green. So, and everybody's like, "What did he say? What did he say?" You know, the buildup was so cool. The buildup was huge. I think they had to do that leading into tonight, and tonight's match was what everybody expected. They went hard.
There was a couple moments where you can almost see Sammy winning. It was that close. The crowd, just like with the haluva kick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was worried. I'm going to skip right to the end because that's when I got worried about the match. I thought the match went perfectly. And then with kind of the screw job ending, I thought the crowd was just going to be pissed and not going home happy. And they turned that around at the end. So I like that they were able to have Roman retain the title and still please the crowd at the end.
Right. Yeah, I see. They did a great job. Yes, they did. They did with bringing Kevin Owens down there. And
my fellow Canadian.
Fellow Canadian. My thing is, what do you guys think? Jay, is he? Where's he at? Where's his head at? Okay, like it should be a 2-part question.
Yeah.
Where was his head at when Roman was saying, "Hey, look, prove to me then. Take the damn chair. Prove to me." At one point in time, I thought when Roman's back was turned, I'm like, "Oh crap, here we go. He's gonna lay out Roman." But thankfully he didn't, and then Sami Zayn speared him and hit Jay out of the ring. Where does Jay stand in this whole thing?
That's a good question. After the spear, does that mean we're going to see maybe KO and Sammy team up now? Because they also didn't leave together. Sammy just kind of stared at him, you notice, too. So we're going to see a buildup where these two start working together because they protected each other. And maybe we see them and the Usos at WrestleMania.
But where did Jay go?
He got speared now, so he has a reason to be mad at Sammy. You know what I mean? But if they don't do that, I mean, I guess Jay does something further with the bloodline. That's all I can foresee. You know what I mean? I can't see him breaking up the Usos with them holding both tag belts. Yeah. It just seems like a bad idea to me.
Right. What about you, Johnny?
In my opinion, I think this is going to be a part of a big story. As to everybody is still questioning, where Jey Uso stands with the bloodline and Sami Zayn. I think what we're going to see is on SmackDown, we're going to see Roman talk to Jey saying, "See, I told you. You should have been with me. You should have been with us, a family, instead of hanging around or figuring out what you wanted to do, if you wanted to be with Sammy or if you wanted to be with the bloodline. Look what Sammy did to you. He speared you." He's going to get into Jay's head, and I think that's when he's going to go back with the bloodline.
I could see that if they build the storyline.
Yeah, and then it's going to – I think that's what they're going to build towards, as well as building towards the friendship rekindling friendship between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
And I think that's going to start. You're going to start seeing that either on Monday night or this Friday night. They got 6 weeks to build that up.
Yeah, it'll happen.
And I will say this because lately the Monday night and the Friday night SmackDown, the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown before the pay-per-views, they're supposed to be go-home shows.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 2 pay-per-views, the Monday and Fridays before that, it quite honestly sucked.
Well,
and go ahead.
Should we address what the term go-home shows are? Does everybody know that?
So as a casual wrestling fan, to me, go-home shows are, let's set something huge up for the main event, for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, you're correct on that. I just didn't know if all the listeners would know what a go-home show is. Yeah. It's when you're really trying to really sell the big show. You know what I mean? It's your go home. It's your chance to really sow the seeds, make people really want to watch the big show.
Right. So I just think that I hope to God if they got 6 weeks to do it for this Jey Uso and the Usos and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn line to get going. I hope they start that story and really go at it. So.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how that develops. Just somebody bring that in with Jay and Jimmy. They're still the tag champs. I mean, I guess it could have Sikoa help defend it and something happen there. Other than that, I mean, I just don't see like he was saying, like Johnny was saying, I don't see how Roman doesn't somehow coerce him back to the bloodline at this point.
Right. Well, I think he needs to do that because I think he's got his hands full with Cody Rhodes come
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You know, and although I don't know because it threw me for a loop. Friday Night SmackDown. The dumbest person on this freaking show. I can't stand this guy. I wish they'd just get him off TV. Baron Corbin. He was talking shit about Cody Rhodes' brother, Cody Rhodes' dad, and how awful the legacy was. Blah 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 blah. And then Cody gave him an ass whooping.
Yeah.
I hope that's done. I hope that storyline is over with, and they move forward with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. So they need a build up. You know, because the build-up for the last 10 months has been Sami Zayn and the Usos and Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens.
Baron Corbin's somebody that had tremendous potential when he came in, and they just didn't know what to do with him.
True.
And they've ruined him. I don't know how they ever fix Baron Corbin at this point. I feel like, just like you can't. It's sad. We've seen him drop the ball on some other guys. I feel like they may have dropped the ball on a pretty big dude who is pretty nimble, good in the ring, and they've just murdered him with bad, like you said, storytelling. Bad storytelling.
So, Johnny, what did you think about the match in itself, the whole match?
I liked it. I think the build up to the match prior to the pay-per-view tonight that we saw was a great payoff.
Yeah.
It was for me. It was everything I wanted to see because I knew at some point that Kevin Owens has to show up.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was going to happen, and I knew if he was going to show up, that's going to set something up with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens going against the Usos, and that ties into with Jey Uso. You know, on SmackDown or Raw or wherever they show up, you know, kind of talking with Roman Reigns saying, "Hey, I told you." I'm getting excited just thinking about this. So it's like, "Hey, I told you." Sami Zayn speared you. You can't trust him. He's not your friend. You should have been with us. We're your family. You know, instead of second guessing your own bloodline. You know what I'm saying?
And especially if he starts coming out with Kevin Owens, they'll be like, look at him now. He's with Kevin Owens.
Right.
He's totally turned his back on us.
How do you guys think that, both of you guys, I want your opinion, because I'm not sure. How do you guys feel or that they'll use Paul Heyman in this thing? Because that guy on Friday night was sneaky as hell.
Paul Heyman's a
and
genius.
I thought for sure when he got in the ring, he wasn't going to get his ass beat. Well, he did, but
he did.
I thought he was going to do something different, but I don't know. I think Paul Heyman's going to be a thorn in their side. He might be on their side now, but I see a swerve coming somewhere.
I'd be surprised.
You would? Okay.
I'd be surprised. I just don't see him letting go of the bloodline anytime soon. I mean, if Roman loses at WrestleMania, which I believe he will, maybe then you do something where he picks up a new guy, you know, be it going back to Brock to turn on Roman. That's been overdone. You know, hopefully somebody new. You know what I mean? Right. That's what he's good at doing, bringing in new, fresh talent.
Do you think here, just a prediction, not a spoiler, prediction here? Does Cody Rhodes have to win at WrestleMania? Both of you.
He doesn't have to, but it would be a great way to end a very long title run. Go ahead, Johnny.
Oh, I guess for Cody, it would mean everything to him for the legacy that, especially with his dad.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with Sin. He doesn't have to win.
Now, is WWE going to go for? Okay, let's hold off and have Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns in match number 2 at SummerSlam, and let Roman Reigns somehow win, whether it be DQ, whether it be whatever. Have him win at WrestleMania so he can get to that 1,000 mark. He's only 100 days away or 98 days away. Are they focused on that 1,000 mark, or do you think it's time for Cody Rhodes?
I think it's time for Cody Rhodes. I really do. I feel like sometimes when you got a heel champ that's dominant, especially as dominant as he's been, I mean, even putting him over the Demon Finn Balor at one point, which had never been defeated in WWE. When you got somebody that big, you've got to have somebody that's got all the momentum, all the fans behind him to come back to beat him. And I don't know that anybody has that more right now than Cody Rhodes.
Okay. What do you think, Johnny?
Yeah. I feel like if Cody doesn't win, or if disqualification happens where he wins, but Roman is still the champion, then I honestly think full on that they're going to set up Roman versus Rock at SummerSlam.
Yeah, for head of the table.
Yep.
I could see it.
So that's my next question, leading. I know we're off the topic of Elimination Chamber, but if Cody Rhodes loses, or if Cody Rhodes beats Roman for the titles, what do we do with Roman Reigns now? Because he's a powerhouse. You cannot. You better not bury the guy.
No.
What do you do with him though?
You see, that's the one I was going to also throw at you guys too. Is I think there's a lot more left of the bloodline if Roman Reigns, retains the titles at WrestleMania, because The Rock could also help build up the bloodline even more. If you guys know what I'm saying, even just leading up to SummerSlam and between April and I think August, that could. I mean, it's right there.
The Rock doesn't even have to get in the ring.
Right.
Give him a mic.
Yeah.
Right. So what I hear you saying, Johnny, is maybe, I like this, maybe. Okay, let Cody Rhodes win somehow via disqualification or whatever. And then build a big storyline, Roman Cody Rhodes for SummerSlam, where then maybe Rhodes wins the titles at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'd rather see him win them at WrestleMania, just because it's the Rhodes legacy. It's WrestleMania. None of them ever main evented one. It just seems like it's time to me.
Okay. And then turn focus on Rock and Roman Reigns for head of the table at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
You could still have Rock versus Roman at SummerSlam either way. And I mean, it goes. I can see it going both ways. I mean, I think I'd be happy with either one.
Okay.
Well, you got to remember Roman Reigns too is only doing select dates now too.
Sure. Yeah.
And Rock will very much be that kind of person. So them not fighting for the title would probably be for the best, because neither one is doing as many dates on the road.
Okay. So let's go back to the match itself. As a fan watching this match, we want to. You'd think that WWE or any promotion would want to put out a believable match.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys as wrestlers go out every whatever day you guys perform, and you make sure it's believable.
Yeah.
I've noticed one thing in the indies that is nothing like WWE. when you guys get super kicked or beluga punch kicked or whatever, you guys are out and it's over.
Yeah.
Why in the hell we as fans do we have to see 17 of those, 20 spears? You know, I'm over exaggerating, yes, but a lot.
3 Aluva kicks, I believe, tonight.
Yes.
25. It takes the meaning of the move away. I mean, it's supposed to be a finisher, and it just every time you do it and he kicks out, it means less, more and more less. And
it's kind of funny how a guy in the match got the most over finisher of the night with the stunner.
Yeah,
almost.
Yes,
it was the most devastating finisher of the night in the main event, and he wasn't even in the main event.
Right.
You're so right. I agree with you. I think that's a flaw on their part to do that.
And why do we have to have 2 refs get knocked out?
The 3 refs in the night, 2 refs in that match. Yeah. And how about, I believe it was the first hurt ref is the one that counted the pinfall, right?
Yeah, got back up and found the pinfall, yeah.
Did you notice how he got in the ring? He jumped up and slid in the ring and got that quick, right on time 3 count. I'm like, haven't you been knocked out for 10 minutes? Would somebody give you an energy drink, a boost of adrenaline? What do you have outside?
A C4. That's what they were promoting.
Yeah, C4.
Yeah, they had Mountain Dew last pay-per-view, C4 this one. So
yeah.
So C4.
That would be my only bad takeaway from that match was there were so many unbelievable kickouts. Like, you're done. You got Beluga kick. I messed that name up, but 3 times. Haluva kick.
Remember, it's short for hell of a kick.
Okay,
but they won't say that. Haluva.
You got that 3 times. You're done.
Well, he did lay out after the 3rd.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kicked out. The first one when I think everybody in attendance thought it was over.
Yeah. I thought I got it edge of my seat. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. And I don't know if I would have agreed with Sami Zayn winning it, but he was close 3 times. So
the Blue Thunder Bomb was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I've never heard an FU Roman chant before either. That was interesting.
God. He got it all night long.
All night long, FU Roman.
Yeah.
It was like watching John Cena in ECW.
And they also chanted "Fuck you, FU Dominic."
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Canadians like them words, apparently.
Yeah. Apparently they. So that was the Elimination Chamber, guys. That was fun.
It was. I gave it a B+. I really thought it wasn't quite A tier, but it's one of the best chambers I've seen leading into a WrestleMania.
Yes.
Very well done.
What about you, Johnny? What's your closing thoughts?
Overall, I thought it was a great show. This is besides the Royal Rumble. Like I haven't watched a WWE pay-per-view in a while before that, and I gotta say I'm really liking how they're bringing back the video packages for not just for the title matches or the main event, but for every single match that should mean something. If there's a pay-per-view going on and you have like 8 to 10 matches going on, each one of those matches, in my opinion, should mean something.
Correct.
That, and they didn't back down from the pyro, which is something they used to do a couple of years ago. They've really brought the pyro back, to, I don't know. When I see a guy come out and then I see him do his stance and I see the pyro hit, I mean, to me, being an Attitude Era fan, that's the way it should be. And I missed it when it was gone. If you hadn't seen a pay in a while, I don't know if you've been noticing they've been upping the pyro more and more lately.
Yeah. I was at a house show here 2 weeks ago, and they didn't hold back on pyro at the house show either.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It was good. It was good.
How was the attendance, if I may ask?
At the house show?
Yeah.
It was packed. It was. No, I didn't see many empty seats. It was at the Pensacola Base Center, so I mean, I'm thinking 5,000.
That's good.
6,000. But yeah, the show I was happy with. I was kind of nervous going in because they like we'll talk about Money in the Bank, the Elimination Chamber, all these little pay-per-views. So in my opinion, the rest WWE from growing up as a kid, I remember Survivor Series, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, and Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, and Hell in a Cell, I mean, wasn't really a thing until Shawn Michaels,
right?
Taker.
So then they add all these other ones, and sometimes in the past, the Money in the Bank has always sucked. I hate that pay-per-view. But Elimination Chamber sometimes wasn't as good as it could have been. And today, WWE came through.
To talk about Money in the Bank a little bit, I feel like that was special when it was a WrestleMania thing.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I was going to say, too, like, I liked it more back in the day when they had pay-per-views like Unforgiven, Bad Blood.
Exactly.
Stuff like that, not anything gimmicky like,
TLC.
Elimination Chamber, or like you said, Hell in a Cell or Money in the Bank. Yeah. I feel like they should have kept that exclusively with WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have made that win mean much more, and it would have like more people interested into whoever, actually grabbed the suitcase, and to always make them, like wonder.
Right. Especially with WrestleMania being 2 nights.
Exactly.
Why can't you
showcase it?
Why can't you throw that Money in the Bank in there?
Throw a women's one night and a men's one another night.
Right. So, well, guys, it's been fun. Well, I've gotten Huge Pop Wrestling, and Johnny and Sin. I know, Sin, can you tell us about your YouTube channel again before we get off it?
Yeah, YouTube channel. In case you're not watching on it now, we're streaming on it live. This will be on there later too. It is Wicked Wrestling Alliance on YouTube. You can also find Wicked Wrestling Alliance on Facebook. I mean, you'll know the company. It's from Illinois. And we are going to be putting up a lot of Illinois indie matches in the future. So we're looking forward to that. I have some even old CM Punk footage, Road Warrior footage. So probably do something with that too. Johnny, anything you need to say to the fans, man?
Just keep supporting, keep watching us, and we'll keep doing more and more of these. As long as we can get, we're all pretty much like a big family. Yes. It's not about one company. It's not about one podcast or anything like that. Nope. Just help us, like, kind of share the word, get the word out there. Help out Sin, help out Huge Pop, and keep watching.
Thank you.
There you go.
I appreciate.
I'm so dedicated. I'm willing to stay in Johnny Cass for a while. So.
Yeah, I could go somewhere with this, but.
By the way, I like your belt. It's nice and shiny.
I'm sure you do. I'll be coming back for it soon enough.
What video game are you gonna play for it?
It ain't gonna be no video game.
I'll play some Madden for it.
Play some Madden for it.
You know what? I should really. What I should honestly do is he may beat me for my belt. In a wrestling match. Well, maybe I should try and get to challenge him in a gaming tournament or a gaming type.
Do I get to pick the game?
Go ahead.
Okay, Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
You'll never beat me at Magic the Gathering. I was ranked in the top 10 in the world at one point.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, do you play a regular live card game, or do you just online?
I play Magic Arena online competitively in standard, and then I play with my friends. We play Commander. 2 different formats. Nice.
You play Magic, Johnny?
Not in a very, very long time.
Nice. So, last shout out. You guys have anything? Each of your promotions. Do you have anything going on this coming weekend?
A week from tomorrow, PWX is having a show. It is a Survivor Series style matches we've got planned, multiples. In the main event, it's the Syndicate versus Team Silver. So that's for control of the venue if we win, or control of the company, 51% of the company if Team Silver wins. So that's going to be a big show. Anybody in Illinois, I can't say enough, or close to Illinois, make the drive to Streeter, Illinois, North Point Arena. It's going to be a heck of a show. We have a lot planned.
John, you going to be there?
I'm going to try to be there.
Take back what's yours, right?
That's right.
Anything going on View this other than that? I mean, I know. I mean, I'm just going to say, huge pops going to stir the pot here. I believe if you show up, but I don't know if you could bring somebody with you, because I wouldn't trust these guys, the syndicates.
What have we done wrong?
I don't trust them either. They're very, very nasty people.
Well,
yeah.
One of our members is Nasty Nick, so Nasty fits us perfect, right?
Yeah, he's. I don't like that guy either.
Oh, really?
What about that?
Next thing you know, you'll say you don't like Jimmy.
What about your boss? What's the boss's name again, Sin?
Well, Jimmy and Jay.
Jimmy Ross or Jimmy?
Jimmy Smooth.
Jimmy Smooth, yeah.
Jimmy Smooth's his favorite guy, right, John?
I heard he's taking your belt all over the country.
Oh, he's showing everybody. It's on Sanjay's belt, but he's showing everybody. He's proud of that belt.
Sanjay.
Yep. I'll be coming for him again, and then I'll be coming. Well, first off, I want a rematch with you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. You want to get dumped on your head again?
Yeah, I mean, you can try. I've done some research on you, man.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
See, just when you think you know the answers, I change the questions.
There you go.
That's the key.
All right. Well, it's Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. Thank you, guys. Big announcement tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time. JT Energy will be on the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. Super excited to talk to him, get his input on, I just found out he's a card collector. He does wrestling sports cards, and I'm a card collector. So talk about that and talk about some of his wrestling experiences. So that's Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. It's the Elimination Chamber show. Check us out on Saturdays. It'll be us three again talking about SmackDown.
Heck yeah.
Take care, guys. Meet me. Stay here. I'm going to end the broadcast, and I'll meet you in the lobby. Okay.
Sounds great. Peace, everybody.
Thanks for joining Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. I'll just leave you with this.
All my dogs, make some noise up in this house. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by